Everyone, so good evening. So I will be discussing the one-way Anova. So before na mag-discuss sa one-way Anova, kanos aman nato gamiton ang Anova. So gamiton nato ang Anova if we have a research question that is comparing variables. Pila man ang i-compare sa Anova? I-compare niya tulo. So kung naatay isa ka independent variable o naatay dependent variable na more than 2, then we will be using one-way Anova. Gamiton lang nato ang one-way Anova when we are comparing 3 or more variables. Okay, so I will be showing you the formula. Solving na ta diretso because I've discussed this already to you. Okay, let's start with the formula. In Anova, we will be looking for the F critical or the F statistic that will represent the value of significance of the data that we have. So what is the formula for our F statistic? So we have MS between divided by MS within. Tas kaning MS between naapod siya'y formula. So for MS between, we have the sum square, the sum of the square of between. We call that one SS between over DF between, or our degree of freedom for the between. And also, ang MS nato, MS within nato, unsa man yung formula? SS within divided by the degree of freedom within. So anong kailangan man nato makuha ang SS between ug MS within? Anong gusto nato makuha ang MS between and MS within? Because kani ato siya i-input sa ato F para makuha nato ang value for our F statistics. Okay, now, so unsaon na pud nato pagkuha sa ato MS between? Ato MS between consists siya og SS between. Our SS between, ang formula niya is the summation of x squared over n minus the summation of x raised to the power of 2 divided by nt. Our n, this is the sample, number of sample. Kani NT, that's the total number of sample sa tanan nimo dataset. Okay. Karon, we also have SS within. Kay sa ato SS within, natay SS within divided by the degree of freedom within. So, unsa may formula sa SS within? So, we have here the formula. Here. SS within is equal to the summation of x squared minus the summation of x raised to the power of 2 divided by n. So this will be the formula so that we will be able to have our SS between and SS within. Kaya kung ato makuha ato SS within ug SS between, ug ato siya i-input sa formula sa MS within and MS between, we will be able to answer and have our F statistic. Okay. So now, para dali rato ang mga trabaho everyone, ato siya himuon na ingani. No? Ato siya manumanuhon. So, kada data ta, for example, in our one-way Anova, how many data are we comparing? Diba? Tulo ka set of data. Kanang tulo ka set of data, kailangan nato manumanuhon siya kada isa ani nila para dili ta malibog. No, kay para diretso na dayon tagamit sa SS between formula and SS within formula. So, morning technique nako kay para dili ta malibog sa pag-calculate sa ato F statistic. So, everything will be organized. Okay. So now, this is also the formula for the degree of freedom. Okay. So for the degree of freedom, anong importante man ang degree of freedom? Kay naama na sa ato formula. Okay. For this reason, di ba i-divide na to ang MS between? So ang SS between niya divided by the degree of freedom between, tapos ang SS within divided by the degree of freedom within. So kailangan nato ang degree of freedom B o degree of freedom N. Karon ang DF nato, DF between or degree of freedom between is K minus 1. Sir, unsa man ang K? Kanang K minus 1, ang pasabot raan na is how many columns do we have? Or sa pila man ka column ang ato gi-compare. Mora na siya ha. In our case, pila man ato gi-compare? Pila to gi-compare? Tulo. We have fertilizer A. I will be giving you the example later. Pero sa Anova, we have 3. We are comparing 3. So, tanawa na to ato column. Kung tulo ato gi-compare, that is our K. The number of data that is being compared. Minus nato sa 1. Kani, ang degree of freedom within, ato NT, it's the total number of the sample. NT na siya. Total number of the sample minus the K. Pila man kabuok imo gi-compare na data sa imo column. Okay, so that will be our formula for the degree of freedom. So karon, I will be giving you this particular example. So our data, tagaan ta mag-data. Karon, before ta moabot sa data, adto sa ato SOP. So this is the example of an SOP for a one-way Anova. Okay, karon, unsa man ang iya SOP? So unsa may nakabutangan na? So, is there a significant difference in the mean growth of tomato plants when treated with different types of fertilizer? We have fertilizer A, B, and C. In this case, how many dependent variables do we have? We have 3, no? It's the fertilizer, no? So, the growth of the tomato is dependent on the type of fertilizer. So, we are comparing the growth of tomato to the fertilizer. So, how many data are we comparing? Tolo. How many independent variable? Isa. So, this case, we will be using one-way Anova. We have 1 independent variable and we have 3 independent variable. So, the appropriate inferential statistic to answer our research question is the one-way Anova. Okay, now let's go on with our data. See, for example, I will give you a data. Ato data is fertilizer A, fertilizer B, o fertilizer C. Okay, ang data na gihatag ni actually is this one lang. Kaning 15, 18, o 14. We also have the data for fertilizer B, 20, 22, 19. We also have the data for fertilizer C. We have 25, 27, 24. Karon, let's go back to our formula. No. Kanita, mano-mano sa ta. Okay, now, we should get the N, the summation of X, the X bar, the summation of X raised to the power of 2 over N, and the summation of X square. No? Sa kada data. For this one, pila man na to data nga ni? We have this one, 1. We have this one, 2. And we have this one, 3. So, each of the data, we should be able to get the N. The summation of X, the X bar, which is our mean, the summation of X raised to the power of 2 divided by N, and the summation of x square. Okay. So now, kuha na to ang mean. Unsa man ang mean? I-add na nimo ang 15, 18 ug 14, i-divide dayon nimo sa number of the data set. So, you have 15 plus 18 plus 14 divided by 3. Kay tulo man siya kabuok. So, we have the result. It's 15.67. Karon, what is the number of n? Or what is the sample? Our sample right here is 3. Tulo man na siya. 1, 2, 3. Karon, what is the summation of x? What is our x in our data set? This one, x man ni nato ang 15, 18 ug 14. When we say summation, we just add everything. So pila man ang addition sa 15, 18 and 14? Yeah, we have 47. So now, we need to get the summation of x raised to the power of 2 divided by n. In our data, do we have the summation of x? Yes, it's 47. We get the summation of x by adding our x. By adding 15, 18, and 14. Okay, now, do we have our n? Yes, we have a 3n, fertilizer A. Remember ha, this is just for fertilizer A data. So, we have the summation of x. Pila to summation of x? We have 47 divided by n, which is 3. So, pila yung result? We have 73.33. Okay, now, we also get the summation of x square. So, sir, asa man nato kuwaon ng x square? In this variable, in the data that is provided here, do we have the x square? Now, we don't have. So, unsa may ato buhatan? This is our x. We square the x. So, pila man ang square sa 15? 15 raised to the power of 2 is 225. 18 raised to the power of 2 is 324. 14 raised to the power of 2 is 196. Karon, you get the summation of the x square. Nakuha na ba nimong x square nga ni? Yes, nakuha na nimong x square sa 15, x square sa 18, x square sa 14. You get the summation. When you get the summation of x square, you are just adding everything. So you add this one. So our result is 749. Okay, are we done? Wala pa. So we do the same thing. Magdugyapon tag the same process, this one, to the other set of data. For our fertilizer B, what is our data? We have 20, 22, 19. So we get the summation of, not the summation, it's the x bar or the mean of our data set. So for our fertilizer B, what is the mean of our data set? So it is 20.33. Also, what is our n? Our n is 3 because we have 1, 2, 3. So we get the summation of our x. What is the summation of our x? We say it is the summation of x if we are just adding everything. We add our x. So we just add 20 plus 22 plus 19. So we get the summation of 61. Okay, now, we will be doing the same process. Now, do we have the value of our summation of x? Yes, it is 61. So, we raise it to the power of 2 divided by n. So, we will be getting this value. So, we will be having 1,240.33. So, now, question. Do we have here in our data set, in the data fertilizer B, do we have a set of value that is raised to the power of 2? Wala. So therefore, here, we will be having a different data. So we square our x. So 20 raised to the power of 2 will be 400. 22 raised to the power of 2 will be 484. And 19 raised to the power of 2 will be 361. So we get the summation of x square. When we are getting the summation of x square, we are just adding everything. I-add na siya. So we have here 400. We have 484. and 361. So the result of the summation of x squared is just 1,245. Are we done? Wala pa. Kadugay mahuman ni. Okay, now, let's get the fertilizer. For our fertilizers, see, we have the data. The data is given with a number of 25, 27, and 24. So, the same process ihapon ta, we get the x bar or the mean of the data set. So, what is the mean of the data set? We have 25.33. Asagi ka ng 25.33. We add the 25 or we add all of the x divided by the number of data. So in our case, we have 25 plus 27 plus 24 divided by 3. Okay, tulo man siya kabuok. So now, what is the number of our n or our sample? It's 3. So now, we get the summation of x. So what is our x? We have 25 plus 27 plus 24. So when we say it's the summation of x, we are just adding our x. Okay, in our case, we have 25, 27, and 24. So what is our summation of x? Our summation of x is 76. Okay, now, we get the summation of x raised to the power of 2 divided by n. In our case, what is our summation of x? Our summation of x is 76 raised to the power of 2 divided by n. Okay, what is our n in the data set? It's 3, right? So, we get the summation of x raised to the power of 2 divided by n. It is equal to 1,925.33. And we also get the summation of x squared. So, in our case, the given data lang siya is 25, 27, and 24. In order for us to get the x squared, we need to square our x. So, gi-square na to ang 25. It turns out to be 625. Gi-square na to ang 27. It turns out to be 729. Gi-square na to ang 24. It turns out to be 576. So, karon, we get the summation of x squared. Do we have now our x squared? Yes or no? Yes, nanatay x squared. When we say summation of x squared, it is just adding everything. I-add na siya tanan. So, pila man siya? We have 1,930. Question everyone, are we done? Wa pa ta nagkatunga. Okay. So now, we are done with our data set. For this one, this is the primary data so that we will be able to get this, to get this, and to get this and this, which is very important in getting this. So therefore, this is the very important data so that we will be able to get this specific data which we can input in our SSB and SSW so that the result for the SSB and SSW will be used in MS within and MS between for us to have the F statistics. So bear with me for a lot of an ample of time kay taas-taas gini siya. Okay, now so we get na everything. No, we get the n, we get the summation of x, we get the x bar, we get the summation of x raised to the power of 2 over n, and we get the summation of x squared to all of the data that is being compared to one another. So, unsa man ato data nagi-compare? We compare the fertilizer A, fertilizer B, and fertilizer C. Okay. So now, we have now the data for our, okay, now we have the data for our summation of x. So, pila man ka summation of x na ata? Our summation of x is tulo. So, here, we need to add all of the summation that is being, or all of the summation that is solved. Kato na solve na to na summation. Karon, we need to get the summation of x. So, isum na to, tanan sum sa x. So, in this reason, the summation for fertilizer A is 47. The summation for fertilizer B is 61. The summation for fertilizer C is 76. So, now, we will get the summation of x of fertilizer A, B, and C. Ang pasabot niya, ato ra i-add tanan summation of x. So, pila man ang summation of x? It turns out to be, i-plus taraw ninyo. Sige, you can double check it, everyone. So, you add 47 plus 61 plus 76, you will get the summation of x will be equal to 184. Okay, now, nakuha na nimo ang summation of x. Karon kuwaon na pud nato ang summation of x raised to the power of 2 divided by our NT, or it's the total mean. When we say total mean, pila man sila kabuok tanan. In our case, we have a population, or we have a sample for fertilizer A, which is 3. We also have a sample for our fertilizer B, which is also 3. For fertilizer C, it is also 3. So when we get the NT, or the total number of sample, we will just add the sample of fertilizer A, fertilizer B, and fertilizer C. And if we add all of the N, we will be getting 3 plus 3 plus 3 is equal to, ilaman siya, B? Okay, so it is equal to 369. So 9 siya. So ang inyo po aton nga ni, the summation of x is 184, right? Summation of x is equals to 184. So you square the 184, square na tong 184 divided by our NT. So pila man na to NT? Pila to NT? Our NT is what? Our NT is 9, no? So we will be having 184 raised to the power of 2 divided by 9. So you can double check it, everyone. So now, i-equal na to siya, it will become 3,761.78. So that will be the result of the summation of x. Okay, now we will get the summation based on our guide. We will be getting the summation of x raised to the power of 2 over n. Okay, we get the summation of x raised to the power of 2 over n. So what is the summation of the summation of x raised to the power of 2 over n in every data? So do we have that one in our data? Yes, naasiya. So this is the summation of x raised to the power of 2 over n sa kada data. So we just add 736.33 plus 1,240.33 plus 1,925.33, and we will be having the result of 3,901.99. So now, we will also get the summation of x squared. Question, everyone, do we have summation of x squared in each of the data that we have? Yes na. So unsa man to siya? We have 745, we also have 1,245, and we also have 1,930. So if we get the summation of x squared, ang ako ra pasabot ana is i-add ang 745, i-add ang 1,245, o i-add ang 1,930, and you will get the result, which is 3,920. Are we done? You wish. We're not done yet. So this is really a long calculation. So I hope you understand. Okay, now, are we done? We are not done yet. But do we have the essential data for us to solve our SSB and our SSW? Yes. Okay, now, in our formula, SSB should be equal to the summation of x raised to the power of 2 over n minus the summation of x raised to the power of 2 divided by our total number of sample. So, in our case, do we have all of the data? Okay. Let's look at this one. Okay. So, this is our data. And we will be having the SSB as our formula. Okay, now, do we have the data for the summation of x raised to the power of 2 divided by n? What is the data? Okay, so now, this is the formula, ha? So, SSB is equal to the summation of x raised to the power of 2 over n. Do we have that one in our formula? Lisod po kung butak ka. So, we have 3,901.99. Di mo pa buta-buta, kaya naraman nga na. Okay, minus the summation of x raised to the power of 2 divided by nt. So, asa man yan na ito value? Wala mo nakita? Pakita. Okay. Now, so we have here the summation of x raised to the power of 2 divided by nt. So, it is equal to 3,761.78. So, in our case, i-minus na nato siya. So, tanawa nga ni, i-minus nato ang 3,901.99 minus the 3,761.78. And it turns out, the value of our SSB is equal to 140.21. So that is the value for our SSB. So how about the value for our SS within? For our SS within, ato lang daw i-minus ang summation of x squared minus the summation of x raised to the power of 2 divided by n. No? Okay, now, let's have the value. Do we have the summation of x squared? Pila man siya? 3,920. So, how about the summation of x raised to the power of 2 divided by n? Pila man siya? It's 3,901.99. So, karon ato siya i-minus. We minus the summation of x squared, which is, the total of it is 3,920. I-minus nato sa summation of x raised to the power of 2 divided by n. And the result for our SS within is 18.01. Now, do we have now the value of our SSB and SSW? Yes. Can we use it in order for us to get our MS within and MS between? Okay. Sama na siya, ha? Okay, now we have the value of our SS. Now we have the value for our SSB and SSW. So we will be using the value for our SSB and the value for our SSW in order to get our MS within and MS between. Okay, now we will get our MS between. So for our MS between, unsa man ato kailangan sa ato MS between? We need to have our SS between. What is the value of our SS between? We have 140.29. I-divide nato siya sa ato degree of freedom sa between. Here. What is the degree of freedom of between? Do we have now the SS between? Yes, it is 140.21. Do we have now our degree of freedom? Wala pa. So, our degree of freedom for between is, the formula is, unsa man, degree of freedom between is equal to K minus 1. Unsa tato K? How many column do we have? Pila man nato gi-compare? Tulo. Okay, now, 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. So, what is our degree of freedom within? We have, pila man ni sa ato NT? We have 9. 3, 6, 9. minus pila man siya ato gi-compare tulo. So what is the degree of freedom within? Unom. So we have 6. So now we will input the data in our formula. Okay, for MS between, what is our SS between? The value for SS between is what? 140.21. What is the degree of freedom between? We have 2. So therefore, 140.21 divided by 2, the result is what? 70.11. Do you have now your MSB? Naana. Pila man? 70.11. Karon we get our MS within. So what is the formula for our MS within? So we have SS within divided by the degree of freedom within. So pila man ato SS within? For our SS within, our value is 18.01. 18.01. Okay. Kaning sa ato MS between BI, our value for SSB is 140.21. Yan siya ha. Karon gamito na po nato ang SS within para sa ato MS within. So pila ato SS within? We have 18.01. Divide nato sa degree of freedom. Okay, what is the degree of freedom for our within? 9 minus 3 is equal to 6. Okay. So karon 18.01, which is our SS within, i-divide nato siya sa ato degree of freedom, which is 6. Degree of freedom within, which is 6. So now, do we have our MS within? What's the value of our MS within? It is 3. So now, let's go back to our F statistic. Do we now have the value of our MS between? Nana, do we have the value for our MS within? Naana, can we get now the F statistic? Yes. Okay, now for F statistic, unahon nato pag-input ato MS between. Unsa may value for our MS between? It is 70.11. Pila? 70.11. I-divide nato sa MS within. Pila man ang MS within? It is 18.01 divided by 6. It is equal to 3. So we have 70. For MS between, we have 70.11. I-divide nato sa MS within, which is 3. So 70 divided by 3, that will be our F critical. Again, unsaon pagkuha sa ato F critical? We can get our F critical by unsa man to inputting our MS between and MS within. Tapos we have 70.11 divided by 3. Our F statistic is 23.37. Karon, we will compare. Before we can say that there is a significant difference with the fertilizer A, B, and C, we need to compare this one to the F critical value. So the F critical value, this is something that is available na sa internet, ang table niya. So to get the F critical value, we need to have the DFB. We need to have, to get the critical FC, we need to have the degree of freedom between and degree of freedom within. What is the degree of freedom between? So we have 2. What is the degree of freedom within? We have 6. So karon, kumutan-aw mo sa table sa ato F critical value table. Again, kung muadto mo sa internet or naka-attach naman mini sa video ang katong table. So ang inyo po aton, you have now the degree of freedom. Kung saan ninyo pagkuha sa F critical. So adto mo sa table. Kaning degree of freedom ninyo between, mao ni siya ang sa taas. This is our row. Sa row ni siya ha. Tanawa nga na ang 2 sa row. Okay. Tanawa ang 2 sa row sa table. Tapos, ang degree of freedom within, maunang sa ato a column. So, baya ang 6 sa column. So, now you have 2 and you have 6. Karon unsa man ang data na makuha nato kung mag-intersect na ang duwa. So, that is our critical value or our F critical value. Ato na siya gikuha. It turns out na naatay 5.143. Ato F critical value pag gamiton nato ang alpha na 0.05, which is naatay 5% margin of error. So we are 95% sure that the result is correct. Okay, now, so what is our interpretation? Can we now have our interpretation? Yes, we can na. So karon, ingon ta, if F is greater than the critical F value, we reject the null hypothesis. If our F is less than or equal to our critical value of F, we will accept the null. Unsa may itsura sa to null hypothesis? Perminti na siya moingon, there is no significant difference. Or pwede po siya moingon, there is no significant relationship. So karon, asa man ang mas dako? Is it our F statistic katong ato na solve or kaning ato F critical value? So our F statistic is greater. So we have 23.37. So we need to reject the null because we will not accept the null. We will reject our null. So what is now our conclusion? So there is, unsa man ato conclusion? There is significant difference. Ganun na may significant difference. Gi-reject man nato ato null. Unsa tong ato null? There is no significant difference. Kay gi-reject man nato siya kay mas dako man ato F statistic. So we will be having a conclusion that is there is significant difference. Okay, goodbye everyone. That is how we will do our one-way ANOVA.